We have number 9 here. It asks us to solve. But notice all these are going to be a ratio equaling another ratio. A special name for this is called a proportion. So we're going to learn how to solve a proportion. So there's many ways to do this, okay? So the first way is the traditional, how do you get rid of the divide? So we have a divide by 4 here. So what are we going to do? We're going to multiply by 4 to both sides. The 4 divided by 4 does cancel. Then we have a divide by 12 here. Let me change the color for you. How do you get rid of divide by 12? Well, we're going to multiply by 12. Multiply by 12 to both sides. So this is now 12. We'll cancel out with the 12. On the left-hand side, we have 12 times 5. 12 times 5. Let's see. That becomes a 0. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus 1 is 6. So that is 60. So we have a 60 on the left-hand side is equal to 4x. Now we want to divide the 4 to both sides. 4 over 4 does cancel, leaving you with just an x. Bring the line down if you would like to see it. 4 divided by 60, just do your long division. 4 goes into 6 times once, bring down the 4. Minus 6 minus 4 becomes 2, bring down that 0. 4 times what makes 20? That is 15. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay, that goes in evenly. 16 divided by 4, that becomes 15. That's how you do it. Another way you can do this is the butterfly method. So the first wing of the butterfly would be this. Okay, so we have the number 12, and we're going to multiply it to x plus 10 equal. Then the second wing of the butterfly is this. 10 times 18. 12 times a parentheses, you remember you have to distribute. So 12 times x, it is 12x. 12 times 10 becomes 120. Equals to 10 times 18 is 180. Subtract 120 to both sides. Here's the line if you would like to see it, because you're trying to get x alone. 120 minus 120 cancels. On the right hand side, 180 minus 120 becomes 60. Bring down the 12x. Divide 12 to both sides. 12 divided by 12, this does cancel, making this become x is equal to 60 divided by 12. That becomes a 5, right? That is the butterfly method, okay? So you can either do the algebra method from A, where you're multiplying both sides by the inverse, or B, just do the same thing, but they call it the butterfly. C, I'm going to show you another strategy, okay? So this is going to be using the scale factor method, all right? Watch. From 4 to 20, what are you doing? You're multiplying by 5. So from this to this, you're going to multiply this by 5, right? So that means that x minus 5 times 5 will get you this number here, this number, right, will become this number. 5 times x is 5x. 5 times negative 5 becomes negative 25. That's going to be equal to the number, okay? So I'm going to figure out what this is here, all right? Okay, because we know it has to, the x here has to be multiplied by 5, all right? So this number here is going to be, this number here right now is just x. So it's going to be multiplied by x. So we can just say this is a 5x, right? Okay, right? So do you see here using the scale factor is super weird? Okay, so hold on. I'm going to do it the other way. Let me grab this problem, and I'm going to do the butterfly method here. Hold on. So 20 times 5x, I'm going to write it 20 times 5 minus x is equal to the other wing of the butterfly, 4 times x. Okay, so that's 4 times x. All right, so let's do this. 20 times x is 20x. Okay, then 20 times negative 5. That gets me negative 100 is equal to 4x, right? Okay. Then I'm going to minus 4x to both sides. This cancels, leaving me a 16x minus 100 is equal to 0. Add 10 to both sides because that's how we get the negative 10s to cancel. We're left with a 16x is equal to 100, right? Divide 16 to both sides. X is equal to 100 divided by 16. You might actually need a calculator for that part because it's so what we're gonna have here is the number. Give me a second. I'm gonna put in Desmos. Okay, that is the 100 divided by 16. That gets you 25 over 4, right? You see, this is why. Do you see how this became a fraction, right? Please be aware of the scale factor. Not a pretty method sometimes, okay? So that's why it's better to use the butterfly method. I showed this, that if you try to use the scale factor method, it might not work, okay? Because it gets complicated, right? So there you go.